7 types of foreigners for Filipinas to avoid. This is day 54 of my budget bungalow build. I'm going down now for my first morning check. I received a comment this morning on my video, my castle in the Philippines, and I know it's James and Gemma. They're just joking, but surprisingly, make me think how many people are actually serious about asking me, are you single? Asking me for a romantic date, wants me to become their friends in their social media accounts. I mean, it's just dawned on me that I didn't take notice of it before, just maybe a joke, but it does. It is true. We have several emails wanted to befriend me, or when they come to the Philippines, they want to take me out for a romantic dinner. Not a friendly meet-up or something, but friendly with the romantic dinner entail. Like, I told old B, oh, I had an email today about someone wants to visit the Philippines and want to take me out for a romantic dinner. 23 years ago, old B will be so jealous and defensive. But the sod now will be saying, okay, make sure that when you come back, you bring a pizza or an Indian takeout. That's his take on it now. So all those invitations, like with romantic inkling, I just didn't take notice of it. But it makes me realize about, I have a video before when I started. It's titled The Filipina'S Guide to the Mail Order Foreigner, and it was like for a joke, but that was one of the hardest video I made. It's very hard to write. It's very hard because it's an illustration, so I want to give it another shot on this video. Now you can see the sense of humor. When I gave it, it's only got 200 views before, but this time I think the people can see the humor behind it. So I'm here now. The Filipinas Guide to Mail Order Foreigners. 7 types of foreigners for Filipinas to avoid. 1. The grandfather. They are easy to spot because they're old, and they often come with their own personal transportation that you will be expected to push. They will likely lie about their age. They may claim to be in their 80s and 90s, but in reality, they could be in their 60s and 70s. This means you could be stuck with them a lot longer than you plan before you get your hands on their assets. And in the meantime, you may have to put up with their hands on your assets. The serial husband. The serial husband is desperate to marry you. He will shower you with praise and gifts and tell you that you are his everything. He will tell you his past wives are no longer in his life and he wants to start a new chapter with you. The past is the past. He wants you to help him build his future. His idea of building a future may be different to yours. The basement dweller. Still lives with his parents, often in the basement. Can't get a decent job. Lives on Social Security due to some fake illness. Thinks he can live like a king on $500 a month in the Philippines. Spends all his time playing computer games and on the internet. The creep. The creep only wants an online sexual relationship. His most used phrase is, "I'll show you mine if you show me yours." You should under no circumstances entertain these creeps. Otherwise, expect your intimate moment of trust to be trending on social media. If you did in a moment of weakness show yours, what you're likely to see in return isn't exactly going to be a fair trade. The Paranoid Patriot. The Paranoid Patriot is the foreigner who thinks his country is the only country that is civilized. He believes all the negativity about Filipinas and the Philippines. He wants to visit, but is scared to make the trip, believing he will be robbed or murdered before he leaves the airport. He believes that all Filipinas wear grass skirts and live in nipa huts. His paranoia kills any chances of a lasting relationship even before it starts. The user and abuser. The user and abuser. This type of person wants to steal from you your youth and your chastity. He will promise you future marriage. He will promise you future riches and even a future life abroad. But first, he wants you to spend time living with him, caring for his every need in order to prove you are compatible and to show you what married life is. He will likely set a time limit. Let's try it for a year before we get married. Within the year, he will dispose of you and move on to his next victim, leaving you to pick up the pieces. Only one form of punishment seems appropriate. MGTOWs. MGTOWs are men going their own way. If these men want to go their own way, I suggest they do exactly that. Go their own way and not get in the way of a woman who wants to find a real man. A real man that can protect them, care for them, and provide for them. In return, the man will be shown love, loyalty, and respect. Actually, what MGTOWs really want is a woman to look after them and care for them, while giving nothing in return. In an ideal MGTOW world, the woman would pay half the rent and half the bills, while doing all the cooking and cleaning. Men going to ostracize women. MGTOW, the way to loneliness.